Hello.
Good day.
How are you? What are you wearing?
I put a special. I knew I was, going to see you tonight here, so I, made an effort. Put a nice little jacket, some flowers. Just be royal.
It's not quiet, is it?
My best yarn.
It's very smart. I'm disappointed you haven't got the shades on though. Those nice orange numbers.
Ah, yeah, you like them?
So go on, if you've got a beer in hand, I feel like I'm letting the side down.
Look, I've gone. Yeah, I'm a bit ahead of you. It's fixed, so.
So things aren't going too badly then, hey? How's lockdown life?
Yeah, it obviously is quiet, but for me it was going to be quiet anyway. Obviously not being racing this season, so for me, apart from obviously traveling less, being at home a lot more, it's not too dissimilar. But yeah, everyone decided to do what I do, just take a break, and go with the flow. So they all copied me.
No, but hang on. Last time I saw you, you were heading to Rio to the carnival. You were making the most of your time not going testing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was just right before everything started to kick off, really. And yeah, true. I was in Rio with a friend. That was a great experience, a lot of fun. I can just recommend that. Was yeah, great company, hell of an experience. Really.
I don't think we've seen any pictures of the costume though. Did you go full feathers?
No. It's kind of, you have to have these local kind of T-shirts to enter these kind of different areas. They have their own little system there, so it's not kind of that you do what you want. But anyway, I probably wouldn't have put that on anyways. And yeah, then I went to Miami for a bit, and then since then back in Europe. Yeah.
And what's Monaco like at the moment? Because normally Monaco would be full steam ahead, getting ready for the race in 2 and a bit weeks.
Yeah, it's obviously quiet. The south of France, or France in general, was hit and quite badly, and it's been very quiet down here. Yesterday the shops opened again in Monaco, so no restaurants, but just a bit all the retail basically shops open, but you have to wear a mask if you go to supermarket or shops.
Did you go and buy the jacket?
No, I bought that a while ago. I had that long time.
So no, go on.
Just let me know. I can borrow you one day if you like. Just let me know.
Yeah, I think it would look good actually. But what do you think, the fact that there's no Formula One at the moment, has that helped or made life easier for you, given this is your new chapter of life?
I don't think so. I was kind of excited, the weekend of Melbourne. I remember I was in Mallorca and I was getting, geared up for the weekend, put the drinks already in the fridge and getting ready to watch the race from the sofa. And then obviously nothing happened. But no, I think not too bad. I think, yeah, everyone is obviously missing that racing. But for me, I think it just, if racing would be on or not, I think not a too big a difference, because like I said earlier, that break was gonna happen anyway. And at least, I was always thinking to give myself 6 months before, reconsidering, looking what to do and where to do. So fairly neutral.
Do you think you will be somebody who sits and watches all the races when they come back, or is that just the novelty of Melbourne?
No, I would. I definitely would. I have an interest. I love the sport. I love racing and competing. So no, definitely I would follow what's going on, and I would be watching.
Have you missed it at all?
Yes. Some moments more, some moments less. During testing, really, I really was kind of disconnected. That was also the time when I was traveling, away from Europe, and I didn't follow testing too much, to be honest. But followed up and caught up with a few people, from Formula One to get a feel for what's going on. But then since, of course, yeah, it's been a while since, obviously, yeah, no one's really been in a race car, but me, obviously, since Abu Dhabi. And yeah, it does feel like, I want to get back in one of those things in the future, in the near future. But we're obviously all waiting for it to happen again.
Well, that's an interesting thing, because I don't know whether you've seen any of these chats before, but we've been asking everybody watching if they've got any questions. And of course, one of the questions that has come up more than most, I'm just trying to find it, Mark Bork a lot of people have been asking. Mark is saying, will you secure a drive in Formula One again? Are we going to see you in F1 again?
Well, I think that's TBC. I'm very much up for it. I think that's still my goal, my aim. But at the moment, obviously, it's really tricky to say. A lot of factors in there, and now everything is kind of upside down anyway. But I'm staying in connection and in contact with people. It's still kind of a bit early, but if there's a chance, I will definitely grab it. If it's a good opportunity and something that really excites me and gets me going, then definitely I will push for that.
So what for you is a good opportunity?
Well, a decent car that gives you a good opportunity to compete. I'm not saying obviously not for victory, but at least that you have something you can work with, a car and a weapon that allows you to at least go for the top 10.
So it's about being competitive and having a shot. Because I remember when you first joined Renault, and you were actually really excited about what you talked about as the project and kind of the long-term plan. But realistically, cutting to the chase, you want to be competitive. Of
course, yeah. I mean, that's in our DNA. That's what we've been doing since we're little, and since we've been coming up in this sport. And of course, I miss it, and working with your team, with your guys, beating the others sometimes more than other times. But it is fun, and I miss a lot of that. Which is the bit that you miss the most? For me, it's just being in the competition and the thrill of quali. When you go out the final lap, now you have to deliver. Now it's all or nothing. The thrill of being on the grid, knowing the race is about to happen, all that adrenaline, those exciting moments, really that spike and that kick you. Were you superstitious? Do you have that set routine that you go through? No, I'm not superstitious. I think everyone has a routine. It just kind of happens, and it helps. But not superstitious. I'm not the guy, that puts these underpants on a Sunday or whatever. I would just always step in the car from the left side, but that's not really a superstition. It's just a habit, or how I used to do it. I remember talking to you in Japan, in Tokyo, just before Suzuka. And you interesting. Over some sushi. Oh. And I was a little hangover, I think. Well, that was what I was going to say. You certainly seem to be enjoying your last few races of last season. Was it really as easy to come to terms with as it seemed? It must have been tough when you started to realise that you weren't going to have a seat for this season. I mean, yes and no. Of course, some moments were tough, some moments were less tough, but I think all in all, I was kind of okay with the situation and in peace with that. I'm not retiring. I'm not saying, I'm never going to race again. And I'm even, with Formula One, I don't feel that there's, no chance of comeback. So it didn't feel like that dramatic and that bad. But I was kind of, after 10 years, and then always racing in the midfield, always being there, kind of a little bit stuck. I was quite after a while, I was okay with it, to take a break, disconnect for a bit, and then see if there's another opportunity in the future. Have you changed how you reflect on it was pretty much a decade, wasn't it, in Formula One? Does it feel different now, what you achieved, what you did, versus this time last year? Yeah, it's certainly, when you're active and you're in the heat of the, season and everything, you don't see or feel things the same way than you do when you have, then when you have some distance, when you're a bit more remote away from it. It doesn't really change the way how I reflect, how I see my career, but it's funny how the angle changes, how you see things or how you understand them. Go on, expand. No. This is personal, but it's just a funny transition. Would you approach getting back into an F1 car differently next time? No. I think that my approach was always correct and fine. No.
Okay, so we've talked about F1. Rishabh Sharma, 408.
Yeah, bring on the big subjects.
Well, he says, hope to see you in Indy or Formula E. Is Porsche Formula E a possibility?
So I just go a bit nuts. He wants his dinner.
Ah, do you know? I don't know whether we've had more questions sent in about your hair or about Zeus. Can we see Zeus?
Yeah, if I get him.
Go on. Is he running away?
He's in play mode too.
Oh.
Come here, buddy.
Look at
that.
Hello, Zeus.
Oh.
What does the ears up mean? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it means he's listening. Look, obviously all the groomers are also, look at his fur here. He's got massively long. But no groomers open, so it's been a long time he's had a haircut, right? You got hair everywhere.
But your hair still is remarkably smart. This is what I can't, there are so many questions about your hair and what the secret of your hair is.
I think I'm afraid it's just natural. Natural and a good hairdresser, I suppose.
Do you spend more time looking after your hair or looking after Zeus?
To be honest, I don't spend any time looking after my hair. I don't even use fancy shampoo. I mix everything. I really don't care. No, styling is 10 seconds for me.
It looks like that even when you take a helmet off, eh?
No, it doesn't look. Helmet hair looks a bit different. A bit greasy and a bit.
Anyway, we're going to go back to the Formula E. Are we going to see in Formula E with Porsche anytime soon?
I doubt it, because I doubt that they will be racing him anytime soon. So
yeah. And what do you make of people saying Formula One motorsport is now in crisis because of this coronavirus, the impact of coronavirus, suggestions that 4 or 5 teams are going to go bust, it's not going to make it through to the other side? Do you see it? Is it as serious as that?
I think yes. I think it it's obviously real, and a lot of industries and companies and corporations are struggling, and I think there might be, and there probably will be, some consequences, but I think it's also an opportunity for F1 to change a few things, talking about budgets there and certain types of regulations. So I see it also as an opportunity, and hopefully come up with some good answers, and hope that everyone survives that, and that we can return to good proper racing after this. What would you see?
Yeah, you talk about the opportunity. What would you like to see change? What's the most important thing for you?
Racing, of course, racing is racing, but it's also entertainment, and races need to be just really entertaining. We need a bit more. We have some stunning races, like, even though it wasn't a good end for me, but Hockenheim last year, dramatic fights, left, right, center. You didn't know where to watch first. And there were a couple of those, and then sometimes we have really dull races. So we just need, good average races that are entertaining to watch all the time. A lot of close wheel-to-wheel racing, and I think then, naturally the sport will get more attractive, because people, enjoy watching that. They enjoy us fighting as much as we do as well. And if everyone, just gets a bit closer together, obviously, that will also help a little bit.
Is the budget cap the most important thing in achieving that, do you think?
I don't know if it's the single most important thing, but I think it's definitely important, and it's probably one very good step towards bringing everyone more together in the future. I think also it will, obviously, once this is implemented, it won't be immediately, because the top teams, obviously, they still have some advantage that they will carry for some time, but it's just a more fair and level playing field then, which I think will be positive.
Is everybody in Formula One pulling in the right direction, though? People are still ultimately it's a competition, hey? Are people really going to work together for the future of the sport?
Well, I think yes. I think they have to, if we want a good sport with a healthy sport, also with a good number of competitors. I think they kind of have to, but I'm also not involved that much now in all these discussions and technicalities that I could judge well. But I think so.
Would you have been excited about a 22 race season this year? I mean, that's a long haul, hey?
Yeah, it is a lot of races. Yeah.
Do you think the fact that there's going to be less this season actually makes it a bit more competitive? Like Charles Leclerc was saying, people might take a few more risks because there's going to be less races.
Well, I don't know. I think that's all, hypothetical. And if you know me, I really don't like hypothetical things because it's just hypothetical and you can't do nothing with it. This might all change, when the season starts suddenly sooner, or it starts and then it has to stop again. This is all, it will all unfold what it's like if we can go race or not. But yeah, first things first. We have to try to get back to normality and then beat this thing, and then hopefully we can move on.
So when you say you've been keeping up to date with things that are going on, who do you class as your friends? Who do you call for the gossip and what's happening in Formula One?
Well, Amanda Davies. Amanda Davies. And Amanda Davies.
My phone's been very quiet. I don't think you can't put that on me.
No, I mean, obviously, I still get a lot of good friends from all this time there. When you work with people closely, you do make friends in different teams, obviously lately Renault, but even before. And you, especially now, when you have time, you connect with a lot of people that you might have not connected with for so long. And, you just see what's going on, what's happening, and you just stay in touch a bit. And that socializing, it's quite nice at the moment.
If you had to be in lockdown with a fellow driver, who would you choose?
Ooh.
No, you're not going to give anything away?
What do you reckon? I don't know. I take Daniel Kvyat, because I like him and he's a good chef. He cooks well, so he could look after us. And
you can beat him at tennis, can't you?
Exactly. Although he is good too. He's a funny technique, this guy.
Who would you least like to be in lockdown with?
No, maybe I should really go with Kevin, actually. Could finally,
Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, finally get to terms. I don't know.
Well, I can't remember who asked the question. Somebody did ask the question. Was the Netflix documentary a fair reflection of your relationship with Kevin?
I think we don't really have a relationship. I mean, I think it's obvious that we're not best buddies, but that's also not necessary, and it's very rare anyway to be good buddies with the driver. But I mean, was that season 1 or 2? It was season 1 that was, no?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that, to be honest. What was shown there?
It was actually Max Verstappen fan who asked, which driver did you spend most time off the track with in Formula One? I don't think that's the real Max, but...
Boah, another tough one. Probably also Danny, because we play quite a bit of tennis frequently when we're here, and it's just become a competitive game between us, so it might be him.
What is Monaco life like? There are so many of the drivers who live in Monaco. I think some people picture the fact that you all kind of live in the same block and knock on each other's doors, every morning, wave and meet in the supermarket. What's it really like?
Yeah, I drop the bread for Stoffel in the morning here. That's not how it is. To be honest, I haven't seen too many drivers around here now, but I've also not been here the whole time. I've been in Germany a bit and also a bit out of Monaco. But yeah, it's been very quiet down here. The weather's been good, luckily, but otherwise, yeah, just getting out for some sports and simple pleasures, good food, sleep. I read a book, actually. Can't tell you what book, but I read a book.
What kind of book?
I just said I can't tell you what book. It's classified.
Has it got words or pictures?
A bit of everything. Not what you think, no. And yeah, some movies as well.
Cool.
Watched The Gentleman last night. Really good.
Say again?
I've watched The Gentleman. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Night. So funny. It's exactly my cup of tea. Very funny. English gangster movie. Watch it.
Okay, I will. I love it. It's actually I'm enjoying.
That was for you. That was for the viewers that might be interested. You said you watched it.
No, I haven't seen it. It's on my list of things to watch. I was just going to ask, so where we go? Peter White, who is the best teammate you've ever had?
Yeah, that's also one of my favorite questions. Not really, because it's always tough to say, because different cars and then different, you know, with one guy you spend more time, with the other guy less time. Do you have another one, maybe?
Oh, here we go. Then you'll love this one. This was Travman. Travman has asked, who's the better driver, Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton?
I don't know. You decide for yourself.
Well, what would you take from each driver that you, as a driver, admire?
Oh, now we're going in the real deep questions here, huh?
Would you rather go back to tyres?
Tires and tire pressures. Let's do that. Have you done your homework?
No. God, I'd love to know. As a driver, when you watch somebody like Lewis, or you know, growing up watching somebody like Michael, what would you notice about how they do what they do?
I just, with Lewis, you know, how he just that. I mean, the consistency he has, being, you know, that kind of killer, delivers every time, every quali, every race. He's just there. We all have bad days, but he seems to have very few of them, and he's just, you know, always on that high level, which is, you know, really, really hard. You know, obviously can say that. So that's, you know, very, very impressive. And Michael, yeah, the speed he had, how quick he was, I suppose.
How much do you study other drivers? Do you take from other drivers? How much do you just worry about yourself?
No, you do study other drivers. You know, the laptop that we have with the computer as a driver, we do always get the onboards from the competition, you know, and you do watch that quite a bit. And there's often a lot of interesting stuff on there, you know, that you pick up and see, not just sometimes how they drive, but also how their car behaves, and you use it, you know, to show your engineers when something is better on another car, you know, as a tool to kind of show them, explain them, but also for obviously the race weekend. With lines, curb usage, all these kind of things, you do use it quite a lot.
Are you a driver who would do it more by feel or more by the numbers and the data?
What?
Your job?
What?
Driving a car.
Well, how can you drive a car by the numbers?
Oh no, you know, certain drivers will look at the data, study the data, and take that and know they need to do more of this or less of that. Others say, no, I'm going to do it on what I'm feeling.
I think it's a combination of both of them, to be honest, and I think you need both. I mean, often if you have the natural feel for it and you can adapt the whole time really quickly, then, you know, that's a skill, that's a big talent. But obviously, it's often the backup. You do use the data and the feedback of engineers, and, you know, you need to combine the two and make it work.
Dhruv Patel asks, do you prefer being left alone during races, or do you like getting feedback?
Yeah, it's very unpredictable. I'm a little diva there. Sometimes I want everything, and sometimes I'm like, come on, just, you know, it's really hard for the engineers. They're in a tough position because it just, you know, the mood is sometimes like this, sometimes like that. So there is no consistent pattern, really, I would say, for me.
Would you admit when you'd been a diva, though?
Yes, I just admitted it.
You don't? No, but we're now 6 months on. At the time,
no, not even at the time. If there would be kind of a, you know, a heated conversation, or I would be a bit, you know, rude to my engineer, you know, like call him off. I would go, look, sorry mate, you know, it wasn't meant like that. But, you know, no, I'll make it right.
Did you develop that diva-ishness, is that a word, or is that something that was with you from your early days?
No, I think that was like that pretty much from the get-go.
Something you developed, or just natural?
I think that's just how it was for me all my career.
It's interesting, but do you think, would you have made it to Formula One without a bit of that?
Sorry, repeat that?
Would you have made it to Formula One if you didn't have that?
The diva-ness? Jeepers. You tell me, what do you think?
I think all professional sports people need a bit of a
Need a
bit of
drink
the diva in them, don't they? I would say. But everybody who makes it to the top of their game in any industry probably has a bit of a diva in them.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose so, yeah. So, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But do you think you've got nicer over time?
Ooh. No, I think I was always kind of nice. Nice guy.
Do you think your team would say that about you?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, interesting.
James was here. Didn't he want to throw a lot of funny comments? I haven't seen one from little James. He's probably scared now.
Is he? I think he sent a few. He did send me a few, I think. I don't know, maybe we've bored him and he's disappeared. Here we go. Here's a tough one. Victor, what would you say is the biggest mistake of your career?
Ooh.
Oh, look, the team have just said you're very nice.
See.
There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, they're all turning up now. There's James. Go on. Victor Lever, what would you say is the biggest mistake of your career?
Tough one, man. It's a question you don't get every day, actually. I think maybe if you go back to the race, what was it, 2012 in Brazil? Obviously, what was looking very promising, and then ended up a little bit not so good. With Lewis, I kind of was racing. I still sometimes debate with myself, was that a mistake or was it not? I was trying, to get the lead back, and it was a bit unfortunate. It was a bit, damp still on one side, and we had this other left car there in front, which didn't help as well. So it was kind of a bit of racing, but also a bit of, too rushed, not patient in that moment. That wasn't maybe the smartest thing. So if I maybe had settled, in that corner and then waited for another opportunity, that day could have been a very different day. And because that was still quite early in my career, could have, taken a different path, a trajectory from then onwards, maybe. But hey ho.
Just seen a good question here. Where is it from? Where was it?
Hey, how long are we doing this for, actually? Just so I know.
Only another couple of minutes. Is that all right? Do you want to go?
I just see if I need to pop another beer or if I'm...
Do you need a refill? Here we go. D. Cesaris, what's the best F1 party you've been to?
Ooh. Yeah. If I'd only remember them all.
But would you party on an F1 weekend?
Oh, on Sunday night, yeah, very often for sure. Yeah, definitely. We've been out loads of times after the race. With the lads, with friends. It's cool. Once the race is done, and then if you had a good race, even sometimes if you had a bad race, you still gotta release the steam and just go out and then have a blast. But no, that happened quite often. I remember, I think, what was it, 2016 or 17 after Abu Dhabi, Sunday night. That was a big night and big laugh. Yeah.
Are you somebody, when you had a bad day at the office, how easy was it to forget? Or how much does it play on your mind?
Yeah, different. Sometimes it took longer, sometimes less long, but it depends what happened and then kind of how it happened. But it can kind of, affect you or drag on for a very long time until kind of process it and understand it. So that can be quite annoying. But there must be a point where you just go, what, just cut it. You gotta move on now and do what you have to do.
I'm just thinking, it's funny, sitting here talking to you with a beer in hand. Yes, there's nobody racing at the moment, but you haven't retired. So you're kind of, what's the balance between being a driver without a drive and a retired driver? How much fun can you actually have?
Well, right now I have good fun within the restrictions of everything. But no, I'm having a good time. But I can have a beer, I can have a drink. That's I think not does me no harm. And anyway, you know, we're not racing anytime soon. I'm in pretty good shape, I have to say. Not traveling, having more time, you know, my training, actually, I feel more recovered and recover faster. So I'm actually in pretty decent shape. I've put on a bit of weight, a little bit of, you know, from eating, but also a bit of muscle mass because I do a bit more weights now. But nothing that could be taken off again. Don't worry, teams, I can be light again. So no, I have a very good balance right now and enjoying myself for the moment, but I'm ready to race again also.
Have you ever had this long without getting in a car and without racing?
No, never. I mean, since I started with, you know, go-karting when I was 8, no, this never happened like this.
Is there a little bit of, I mean, is it refreshing or is it frustrating?
It's for now, it's still refreshing because like you know, we touch.
Oh,
Well,
that'll be my house phone. My dad's calling on the house phone, but I'm not going to answer it.
Oh, go on, take him. Let's talk to him.
The joys of working from home. Oh, yeah, that's my dad. Never mind. Carry on.
Yeah, I forgot. What were you asking?
I can't remember how much you. Oh, how frustrating is it? Frustrating not being in a car, or are you enjoying it?
I think probably for me not, because I was anyway not gonna race something for, you know, at least half a year or something like that. So in my mind, you know, I was prepared kind of for that. So for me, it wasn't an option anyway, and I kind of wanted also this break and this time away from racing. So I'm not frustrated.
Hasn't made you want to walk away altogether?
No, definitely not. But the opposite, actually.
Amazing. So when are we gonna see you back in a Formula One car? Have you seen how many messages here are asking you when you're going to Ferrari?
Yeah, my next live, I guess. That'll only be happening in my next live, I'm afraid.
Not going to happen. Definitely off the table.
I don't think so. I think that's, if we're realistic and honest, I don't see that.
Is there anything else you want to say, or shall I let you go and?
It was great talking to you. Thanks for the messages here, and have a nice evening, everybody, all together.
Thank you so much, as always, for your time. And I have to say, we've got an exciting guest coming up on Thursday, who I think, I don't know whether you had a bit of a dance-off last time we saw each other in Berlin. Alessandro Del Piero is joining us on Thursday for the next CNN Sport Instagram Live. So I'll be asking him about his dancing. He actually, I think, would quite like your jacket as well, Nico.
This was so funny. And when we went before the Laureus Awards there in Berlin, we're in the hotel, me and a friend, and we walk into the bar, and I'm like to my friend, "Hey, look, this guy, he really looks like Hugh Grant." And he's like, "Yeah, because it is him." I'm like, oh shit.
Would you get more excited about meeting Hugh Grant or somebody from the world of sport?
Nah, Hugh Grant then. Yeah, I like the entertainment world. I would happily meet someone from there.
Cool. Well, I will leave you to it because, yeah, we have taken up more of your time than I...
Do you hang up on me or I hang up on... How does this work now?
Well, that might be the end if we get it wrong, hey?
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much. Great to speak to you. Good luck and catch up soon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.